In today's lesson, we will discuss Unit 2, Exponents, Factors, and Fractions, Week 4. Get your notebook or journal, pens and pencils, markers or different colors that you like to use, and a calculator if you need it, and an open mind. Taking notes is a great way to have a resource of materials for review, especially for test time. You are amazing and you deserve great things. Lesson 1, Exponents and Order of Operations. What does multiplication mean to you? Exponents and order of operations warm-up. Question 1. Explain how to use order of operations. One way that I remember to use order of operation is by using our mnemonics. We can use PEMDAS or we can use GEMDAS. We remember that we're always moving from left to right. Okay, so once we do parentheses, exponents, we do multiplication and division based on whoever is on the left. Then we do addition and subtraction based on who's ever on the left. The same goes for GEMDAS. We do our grouping symbols, and then we do our exponents, followed by multiplication and division from left to right, then addition and subtraction from left to right. Next, let's find the value of each expression. Question 2, 10 minus 3 times 3. Well, we know for this problem, the first thing that we should do is write out our PEMDAS mnemonic to help us to remember. Now, we can see in this problem, we have a subtraction and we have a multiplication. And because multiplication is furthest to the left, we do multiplication first, followed by subtraction second. So let's begin. We start with 3 times 3, and we know that that answer is 9. Now, we bring everything else down. 10 minus 9 is what we have next. The next thing we do is the subtraction. 10 minus 9 is 1. So the answer to this problem is equal to 1. Problem number 3. We can see in this problem that we have grouping symbols first, or parentheses. We take care of those first. Second, we have addition. So we need to do the addition component second. Let's start with our parentheses. 2 minus 1 is 1. We bring everything else down. Now we do the addition portion. 1 plus 14 is 15. So our answer to this problem is 15. Question number 4. In this problem, we can see that we are given several operations. We're given a division, an addition, and a multiplication. So according to our PEMDAS, we do either multiplication or division first, but we always start with the one that's on the left, so that means we do division first, multiplication second, and finally we're followed up with addition. So we do the addition last. Let's work this out. 36 divided by 6 is equal to 6. Then we bring everything else down. Next, we do the multiplication portion, 2 times 4, which is equal to 8, and we bring everything else down. Lastly, we do the addition to this problem, 6 plus 8, and that is equal to 14. Our final answer is 14. Question number 5. Here in this question, we can see that we have a parentheses with an addition inside. Then we can see that we have a division and another addition. For this problem, we are going to do the parentheses first, which means taking care of that addition. So 1 plus 29 is 30. Then we remember to bring everything else down. The next thing that we want to do is the division. 30 divided by 10 is 3, and then we bring everything else down. Lastly, we have 3 plus 9, and that answer is equal to 12. Before we begin with the practice, let's address what these common pieces of information are called. Let's give them a name. So here, we can first decide which numbers are our factors. Factors are numbers that are multiplied together. So that means that 2 and 6 are called factors. The product is the answer to a multiplication problem. So the product in this instance is 40. Now, looking at this equation, we can see that this is not a true statement. This is not a true equation because we know that 2 times 6 is equal to 12, and we also know that 12 does not equal 40. So this is a false equation, guys. Exponent tells the base how many times to multiply itself. So as we are identifying these pieces, we can see that the larger number has a smaller number right next to it, but also raised up. This larger number is called the base, and the smaller number is called the exponent. Now, the job of the exponent is to tell the base how many times to multiply itself. So because our exponent is 3, we write that base 3 times, and we multiply 1, 2, 3 times. So when we read this, we say 5 to the 3rd power, or we can say 5 cubed. So remember, the base is the factor that is being multiplied. The exponent tells you how many times to multiply the base by itself. Exponents can be communicated in different forms. This form here is called the expanded form. When we write our exponents using a base and an exponent, that is called exponential form. When we simplify our exponents, that is what we call our standard form. Now let's look at these examples of exponents that are given to us. We know that to write an exponential form, we need a base and an exponent. How many times do you see this base written? Well, this base is only written 2 times, so we write 2 to the 1st power, and that is the exponential form. The way that we say it is we say 2 to the 1st power. Now, to simplify this, we only do the math. 2 is the standard form for this first problem. Next, we're looking at 2 times 2. That means our base is written 2 times, so in exponential form, this would be 2 to the 2nd power, or 2 with an exponent of 2. Now we're going to say 2 to the 2nd power, or because this one is a little special, we can say 2 squared. Now when we do the math for this one, 2 times 2 is equal to 4. So 4 is the standard form for this product. Thirdly, we have 2 times 2 times 2. We can see that that base is written 3 times in order to be multiplied. So the exponential form has a large base of 2 and an exponent of 3. If we wanted to say this, we would say 2 to the 3rd power. Now this one is special as well because we can also say 2 cubed. Now when we do the math for this one, we say 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2 again, which is 8. So the standard form for this problem is 8. Expressions using exponents. We're going to practice writing expressions using exponents that have a positive base. The first thing we want to do for these problems is to identify the base, which is our factor, define how many times the base is being multiplied, and to use that number as the exponent. So here, in this first problem, what is the base? What is being multiplied? Well, we can see that 11 is our base, and that is what is being multiplied. How many times do we see this being multiplied? Well, that answer is 1, 2, 3, 4, so that means our exponent will be 4. Now to write this in the exponential form, we would write 11 as our base with an exponent of 4. Next, let's jump into this next problem. What is our base here? Well, we can see that our base is 14 as that is what is being multiplied. In order to define the exponent, we need to see how many times it's being multiplied. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 number 14s being multiplied. So our exponent would be 6. Now, how do we write that in exponential form? Well, we write a large base and a small exponent, 14 to the 6th power. Let's do this together. What is the base that we see? Well, we remember that our base is just our factors being multiplied. And because we have these parentheses, that means multiplication. So our base is 6. 6 is our factor being multiplied. How many times is that being multiplied? 1, 2, 3, 4. That means our exponent is 4. So our exponential form for this problem is 6 to the 4th power. Now it's your turn to show what you know. Please make sure you hit pause on this video before you add your answer to the chat. Now let's see if you're correct. Here I can see that the number 5 is being multiplied many times, so that means our base is 5. And in order to determine our exponent, we need to see how many times that 5 is multiplied. And that answer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So our exponent is 8. Now if we want to write that in exponential form, that means our final answer would be 5 to the power of 8. Writing expressions using exponents. Let's write some expressions using exponents with a negative base this time. How do we do this? Well, the first thing we do is we identify the base or the factor, and then we define how many times that base or factor is being multiplied, and we use that number as the exponent. So in this first example here, we have a negative 4 being multiplied by a negative 4. Now notice that this is in parentheses because a lot of times our negative numbers are usually written with that parentheses. So our base here is negative 4. How many bases do you have for the exponent? So we can see that we have 2 bases being multiplied, so our exponent is 2. Now don't get tempted to change this to a negative 2. We have 2 positive bases there, 2 bases that are negative there. So how do we write this in exponential form? We have negative 4 to the 2nd power. All right, next for this problem, we can see that our base here is negative 8, and our multiplication is written a little bit differently. There is not a symbol in between our parentheses, but that's okay because we still know that it means multiplication. So how many bases do we have in order to figure out the exponent? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means that our exponent is 5. Now to write this in exponential form, we are going to write negative 8 inside parentheses so that I know that that 8 is negative, and our exponent is going to be 5. Let's give this problem a try. Here again, we remember that the exponent is how many times our bases are being multiplied. And we can see here that negative 2 is being multiplied to negative 2. So that means our base is negative 2, and the exponent is how many times I see negative 2, which is 2. So if we wanted to write this in exponential form, we would write our base in parentheses to make sure we understood that it was negative, and 2 as our exponent. Check for understanding. Here we can see that our base is negative 3 because that is what is being multiplied. The exponent is how many times this is being multiplied, and we can see that our factor is being multiplied 3 times, so our exponent is 3. In order to write this into exponential form, we are going to put our negative 3 in parentheses with our exponent of 3 on the outside. Simplifying using order of operations. Let's simplify some mathematical problems which include exponents that we just learned how to use with our order of operations. So remember that we're going to use PEMDAS or GEMDAS to solve, and our P or G, in this case as well, represents the parentheses or grouping symbols. That's the first thing that we solve for. Then we're going to solve any exponents that we see, and then we're going to do multiplication and division in either case, but we're always going to remember that we're moving from the left to the right, so whichever one comes first, moving from left to right, is the one we solve first. Lastly, we'll do addition and subtraction, and again, we will solve addition or subtraction from left to right depending on which one comes first. All right, let's solve this order of operations problem here. Let's see what we have. I see exponents, addition, parentheses, and inside of that parentheses, I see subtraction. So the first thing that we are going to do is the parentheses, which also in turn takes care of that subtraction. So 9 minus 7 is what is inside of parentheses, and that answer is 2. Then our next step is to remember to bring everything down. Now before we can do the addition, we have to make sure that we're taking care of the exponent here. So exponents come next. 2 to the 4th power means that we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Now, I just wrote this out in expanded form to help you see this one a little bit more clearly. But here we have 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 times 2 is 16. So in order to complete this exponent here, that is going to give us a value of 16. We bring everything else down. Our last step is to complete the addition. 16 plus 2 is 18. So if you got 18 for this answer, great job. Let's do this. What do we have here in this problem? Well, here we can see that we have a parentheses with a subtraction inside. We have an exponent on that parentheses. We have an addition, and we have another exponent. So what do we do first? Well, we know that that answer is parentheses. 4 minus 8 gives us a negative 4. Now remember, because that one is negative, we want to put that in parentheses before we write everything else out. So we have our exponent there plus 2 squared. Okay, so I am going to do the exponents on different levels just to show how they are different. We're going to remind ourselves that negative 4 squared means negative 4 times negative 4. So that negative 4 times negative 4 is going to give us a positive value, and that answer is 16, a positive 16. Now we bring everything else down, 2 squared there. The next thing we're going to do is take care of our second set of exponents, which 2 squared we know means 2 times 2, and that gives us a value of 4. So remember, bring everything else down once you get your answer. 16 plus 4 now is 20. So our final answer for this problem is 20. Let's go back through this one more time to make sure we've covered all of our bases. The first thing that we did was our parentheses, and then we took care of our first exponent because we remember we always move from left to right, and then we took care of our second exponent, followed lastly by our addition. So remember, please stay in order of operations: parentheses, exponents, any multiplication or division that you would have from left to right, and any addition and subtraction that you have from left to right. Now's your chance to share your understanding. Go ahead and pause the video and get your answer in that chat before you watch me work this one out. All right, let's continue. We have an parentheses here that we need to take care of. So let's do that. 2 times 2 is 4. We bring everything else down. Plus negative 2 in parentheses squared. All right, so next we have exponents, and we have 2. So negative 2 times negative 2, we know that that's a positive value. 2 times 2 is 4. Plus, this one, 4 squared, is also 4 times 4. So we're going to do that one as well, and that is 16. And then lastly, we are going to do our addition. So notice on this last one, I did both of the exponents on the same line here, and you're more than welcome to do that. Our last, we don't have any multiplication or division. Our addition and subtraction is last, and that value is also 20. So if you got 20 for this problem, great job. Thank you for sharing your learning with me. Happy learning.
I am Ms. V. Richardson, and I want to say thank you for watching this lesson using guided notes. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and become a family member at kepcurriculum.com. Happy learning, and don't forget, if you want to extend your learning, here are some additional videos that you can tune into.